Yes, yes. The Skaven have arrived. Yes, yes. They're here. AOS 4.0. And the Skaven have arrived. Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, and today I'm coming to you with something I'm pretty excited about. It is the launch box for AOS 4.0, the Skaventide box, and Games Workshop was kind enough to send it across to me early, and I'm pretty stoked to get to show you kind of what's inside of it, and also, very importantly, I get to show you the amazing models that they have got there, and I've chosen one that I am very excited about, and I painted them up, and I hope you guys certainly enjoy it. The Skaven have definitely spoken to me with this box. I've got some of the Stormcast Eternals from the Dominion box, and I know that they'll work really well with the ones from this box to really build up like a cool force, but for some reason those rats, they're speaking to me. So I'm very happy to like dive into them and see what I can do with them, and at least paint up the Spearhead, which is a really cool game system that they've got going on here, a way to play it. It's like Combat Patrol, but for AOS, and they've got it very specialized, the way they've got the table set, the way the table set up and everything is. I think it's going to be like a super cool way to get into AOS and a super cool way to play the game just in general. So without any further ado, let's take a dive in to see the box and then get a dive in to see what the model is that I painted up there. So here it is, the 4th edition of AOS, the launch box Skaventide. Inside here we've got the beautiful divider there that they keep to hold it, and a ton of awesome looking models. The sprues are all divided up into various different units, so obviously they're planning on releasing them individually, I'm sure, in the very near future. But the detail on these new models is just it's awesome. I really do enjoy it. I really like what they've done with the new Skaven. They've kept the same feel and just basically just like up the ante with them. So I think it's going to be awesome. And not just the models in there. This comes with a ton of extra, not just bases, but it also comes with a ton of extra, a ton of ways to start playing the new system like right away. So they have a ton of cards and helpful aids to allow you to play the game to find out the missions and the twists and all these new things that they've got with the new edition. It's got a ton of them in there, which is great. So you've got the two different decks here. These are, I think, from the cards for the new for Spearhead that they have on there, and then they have a bunch of missions that you can pick with the deployment zones and such with them, which is pretty rad. And it just makes it a lot easy. It makes it really easy to play the game. They've got the instructions, obviously, as they always come out with those. And this is the play board that they come with, which is like a full size, like Kill Team Warcry sized board here, which is what Spearhead is to be played on, which is awesome because it makes it a bit more manageable to just play on the smaller size there with the smaller forces that you've got going on, and that's what it's designed for, which I think is pretty rad. And it also comes with all of the objectives on the board there, so like the different deployment zones, and they have come with two hardcover books. They got the core book, which has all the rules for AOS, and it also has the new book for Spearhead, which has all of the rules for all of the different factions inside of it. So if you get this box and you would rather play with a Spearhead of your own choosing, they've got it there in Fire and Jade, and it has all the rules for how to play Spearhead. But I chose the Warlock Engineer from the Skaven here because the Skaven spoke to me. They were awesome. It's not just because I'm a rat. It's because I really thought that they were just some amazing sculpts that they've got going on. And starting it off here, I have a white prime, and then I started with Murder Scene speed paint onto the robes. I wanted like a deep burgundy, like a deep dark red there for the robes because it just felt right. It felt right for this, like the dark denizens of the underworld there, or Underhive, or the Underlands there. And I thought that this would look good, especially for like a force that's coming out here. I then painted the fur with Ashen Stone. Some of these colors that I went back because I wanted a darker, deeper. I went back and I did a second coat of it to just give like a more depth to that color there. Then one of those was the Grim Black as well onto the armor plating that we have here. I also use this on his little crooked little eyepiece that he's got there, or the telescope that he's got going on there. And I'll go back and later put some silver highlights onto that. This is Princess Pink speed paint as well onto the tails, and I did this on the ear and the nose, and then I think I also did it on the nose and stuff of some of the rats and stuff. I also have Gravelord Gray and Dark Wood in a mix to do the wood here to make it like a desaturated, like grayish, like it's worn wood. I also, after this one, I went back with another coat that was another coat of just like the gray of the Gravelord Gray to get it there. I then went in with the Brazen Copper metallic speed paint here onto a lot of his like the shoulder pieces and the head piece, and then this back contraption that he's got going on here that's being powered by Warpstone. And I thought I really like the speed paint metallics. They give you like a really great dynamic and like a really great color that you get there at the end with like one coat, which is great. I used hardened leather on some of his leather bits, so like the glove here, and then some of the straps and the belts and pouches that he's got going on. It's of note here that when I would do these paints, if I got it onto something I didn't want to, I would just go back and cover back up with the matte white regular paint. All the metallic parts that are just metal got a coat of the broadsword silver, and then I used Horde bronze here on this little knobbly bit that he's standing on top of his tactical weirdo piece of machinery. And then I used Shamrock Green to give that Warpstone glow onto the little knoblet of Warpstone that's in there, and then all the pipes coming out of it. I used Dark Tone to kind of wash all of the metallic parts that I got there, so that included all of the ones. So like the cop, like the the metal bits on his back, the broadsword silver on all of those. I then went back into painting some highlights on all of these here. So first you saw on the tail and all the other fleshy bits, I did a highlight of leopard stone skin, and then I went back onto his robes here, and I used dragon red to really pop those highlights and just like bring a bit more of a punch to the colors there. I like what they do with the speed paints alone, but just like a little bit more is always nice, especially when you've got like a character model like I've got here with my Warlock Engineer. And it just makes it really pop a lot more. I then went in and weathered all of these the colors here with the brazen copper. I used the verdigris on this, and what I would do is I would like dab it on there. I lost a lot of the footage because I didn't realize my card had filled up because I'm a genius. I would dab it on, and then I would go back in with water and wash it around, and then go back and dab more on and wash it around and dab it on and wash it around to get this whole effect, like a worn, just like patinaed effect on there. Down on the bottom, I also used some rust on all the metallic parts, so I used the dark rust. I lost all this footage as well, and then I used some of the bright rust, and I think it came out amazing. I'm super happy with what he looks like. So there you go. We've got the new launch box for AOS 4.0, and we've got that new model that I just painted up that I'm super happy with how he turned out. I'm very excited to kind of work with some of those same elements onto the other models in there, and spending time like on the Gracier, but then being able to use those same color scheme and the same kind of like style and the same kind of feel with the models that I have with the clan rats and stuff like that, where I don't want to be spending a ton of time onto them because I'm going to be having like 1,000 of them or whatever on the table and wanted to go with that. But they're just it's such a cool aesthetic. It's such a cool feel to it, like that, just like that ramshackle. They're almost, they feel, I know there are orcs in AOS, but this feels almost like the way that the 40k orc feel is to it, with like that aesthetic of the orcs, where it's like kind of ramshackle and put together and just like bits and pieces and just like held together by a wish and a prayer and a piece of rope. And I think it's going to be awesome. And that's why I really liked diving into like the weathering there and just making them look like they've been like finding a way to survive in the tunnels beneath all of the realms there, and now they've come out to find their way and claim their land up on top, which I think is pretty fantastic. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see where they go with the narrative with all of this. And of course, the arrival of a whole bunch of Warpstone really feels like maybe there's going to be things like Mordheim or something like that. That'd be kind of fun. I've been, as I've been saying in a lot of my videos recently, I've been feeling the itch to try games that aren't 40k, that aren't, Kill Team. And this is certainly definitely a time for me to jump into AOS, I think. I know I said it before and I gave some thought to it, but now that I feel like I've given myself this space that I have where I don't have to be just producing battle reports all the time. It gives me the time to be in the space to be able to like just make one army that I can do, because I don't have to have 1,000 armies that just change every week. I can have the one army in AOS and try it out, which I think is very exciting. I want to give it a shot because I've had very little experience with painting and collecting like fantasy style stuff. So I've already got some other ones. I've got like the Cities of Sigmar, the Spearhead box, and I'm probably going to be trying to do Warcry. I've got the Wild Core Hunters. I'm going to be using them or at least as the basis for my force. I'm going to be doing the Warcry GT at Nova. So I've played literally one game of Warcry, and that was with Zambies at TMX, and she taught me how to play. I did win, but I started to put together a force, and I was like, my brain hurt a little bit trying to figure it all out. But I think it's going to be fun. I really enjoying like getting into new system, new styles, and new looking models and different things to keep in mind. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to dive into that as well. So so let's see. AOS, I think here I come a little bit, and give it a shot and see what happens with that. And Spearhead seems like a good entry point too, just like the Combat Patrol, where it's like a way to get in, play the games, and get the feel for it, and not have to have like 1,000 billion points of a single army to go and play the bigger game, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So as you all know, I am a member of the Army Painter Factory team, and with that comes a little bit benefit to you as well. If you use my code FactoryGeek5 at the Army Painter, you can get 5% off of any of their paints, and all of the paints that I used in this tutorial were Army Painter paints. You can get any of them there that you saw that you thought were looking cool, and give them a shot yourself. I really highly recommend the weathering, the specialist like effects paints that they have there, like the Verdigris and the Dark Rust, and the combination of the Dark Rust and the new Rust, the Bright Rust. I can't remember. That's like the other one. So there's the Dark Rust, and then there's the New Rust or something like that. Those are fantastic. Really worth a shot. Give them a shot. They also have the benefit of not being like super fragile like the Dirty Down Rust stuff. And they work great. They've got a little bit of texture to them. They've got like really bright, the right colors for it. It looks like Rust, and I've been very happy, and I'm really working with them and trying to figure that out there. But yeah, give it a shot. Go over there, get yourself 5% off, and I think I don't think you'd be disappointed with the paints there. So give it a shot and use that code and save yourself some money. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about AOS 4.0? Are you excited about the Skaven? Are you excited about anything else that's coming out with this? Let me know. Are you excited about maybe just Spearhead? I think that's going to be super fun. I also like how in the launch box they come with a book, like the whole book, to be able to play Spearhead right out of the box, so that you can, if you get the box, if your friend gets the box, you guys can play Spearhead with your already existing warbands. They've got all of the warbands in there, all of the choices for the different armies. They've got their different options for spearheads inside of it, which is great. It tells you what you need, tells you the models you want, and it gives them all the rules and stuff that you need to play them, which is fantastic. That's a really, I think, solid, cool idea to come in a launch box. There. So let me know what you're excited about AOS 4.0. Let me know if you want to see more of me painting up the Skaven. I was very happy to do it, so I'm probably going to do it anyway, and let me know if you want to see it yourself. And if you have any other ideas, keep it going in the comments down there and let me know. I really appreciate all of you guys. You're an amazing community of people that let me do this and keep this going. So I really appreciate your patronage on my Patreon. I appreciate your likes and subscribes, and I like the fact that you come down here and you make a really awesome place to be down there in the comments, which doesn't make me hate life as much as some other comment sections do. So so I appreciate it. Let me know down below what you guys think, and we'll continue the conversation. Again, thank you. So as always, I've been Phil the Glacial Geek, and I hope you really enjoy this, because I've been Phil the Glacial Geek. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.